bad, but it's not great. I'm gonna go for a run right now, and I'm gonna have probably like 120 grams of carbs this morning, and I'm probably gonna have 2 gels, 40-gram gels in this workout right now running. And I'll have 50-gram bottle, 2-scoop bottle of hybrid fuel in the car passed to me the whole time.
How long a run?
It's only gonna be about 75 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like a 40-minute tempo at 6-minute pace. And then I'm just gonna keep my tempo.
Back to you. You'll get a text from me by 8 a.m. your time. I'll be done with a 5 or 6 hour ride.
Dude, this would be a sick test. I'm literally cranking in like most of my workouts, probably like 120 grams. What's up, guys? We are back on Malibu Road. This is where I get all of my speed work done. At least in the beginning of the season this year, we're gonna focus on this road again, and we're gonna be getting ready for this kind of mixture of high rocks and Murph training. And we're gonna explain this, how it's all gonna break down, but part one day of the week, we're gonna be focusing on like a threshold run. I got my new Amazfit heart rate strap on. We're gonna test this today. And my whole goal is basically right now about 30 to 40 minutes at 80% of my heart rate and focusing on efficiency rather than intensity. Because right now, if I think about this Murph thing, what I did wrong last year, and Tito, go back and show this clip, take it from our old YouTube. When I set the Murph world record years ago, I went out and started with a 5:19 mile. It wasn't necessary, and if I think back to it, if I could cut back even by 40 seconds on that, I think I could gain almost 2 minutes in the middle of it. So I'm gonna change everything. I've gotten a lot smarter about kind of hybrid racing and pacing. This is really when I was starting my career as far as this like really high intensity running calisthenics career went. And you know, now that I've progressed so far from there, where my High Rocks world record was 57 minutes, now it's down to 53, I think I can take that same kind of intensity to Murph and drop my time by up to 4 minutes with the right pacing, right strategy, and it's gonna start right here today with a very grounded and evenly paced threshold run all the way down Malibu Road and back. And we're gonna try to keep it around 30 minutes. So if you think about it, from right here to the end is about 2.5 miles and back. So I should be able to hold just under a 6-minute pace and cover more distance than this whole thing. So my goal is to get from the speed bump all the way to the end and back, plus maybe an extra half mile, and that would be the test. And every single week, we're gonna add a little bit of time and a little bit of pace to the point where I might be holding around 45 minutes and getting more efficient, but not using more intensity. Because what I really wanna do when I do this race again is be able to do it under control and be able to walk across the finish line, unlike I did the first time I did it where I had to walk for a certain section because of cramping. I'm gonna walk across this finish line like a champion rather than a defeated person who hadn't hit their goals. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys at the finish line soon. Does it look like I'm running fast? Come on. My lungs feel fine. My legs, like I'm able to keep it. I'm 160 right now. That's the top of my threshold. Come on, Hunter. How'd it look?
How do you feel?
Dude, that was fucking easy. I was like, is the watch wrong? Is the heart rate strap wrong? Yeah, like it was really not that hard. Last year when we started everything, we were doing intervals just before like Glasgow and everything, and then like afterwards. And the best we were doing was like, I don't know, on an 8-minute interval, it was like around 5:10,
Yeah.
5:15. And I was holding basically 5:30, 5:25 to 5:40
Yeah.
the whole time for 30 minutes straight. And my heart rate was below 160 to 160 the whole time.
Dude, this looked smooth.
It wasn't hard.
Why did you choose Murph instead of Ironman?
I think I just like looked at it and I was like, if you have to look at it as like a problem, an Ironman in my mind is solved by fast shoes, nutrition, and fast bikes. Murph is 100% grit.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do. Carbon shoes aren't gonna change your Murph time. It's too short on the running. A weight vest, there's no such thing as like the best weight vest. There's a good weight vest, there's the weight vest that you like, but they all weigh 20 pounds and they all suck. And I think also for an Ironman, like I wanted to be the fastest person to do it over 200 pounds, and same thing with a marathon. But I just thought about that and I was like, I'm focusing on weight, not output. And this season, I want to just really focus on output, and the weight will find itself. Like you should fuel your output, you shouldn't starve your output. So like yesterday I had 700 grams of carbohydrates, and I woke up this morning and I just blasted through that thing. And like around this time when I was getting ready for championships, I was maybe at like 500 grams of carbs. So I know that sounds crazy. Yesterday's workouts were only around 2.5 to 3 hours. And I did a sauna session afterwards. So it was a lot of like impact on the body. But 700 grams of carbohydrates, dude, that's 2,800 calories just with sugar and rice and shit like that alone, and peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And I just tanked this thing. No bicarb, no pre-workouts. All I did was strength X2 and no beta alanine. So strength X2 and beetroot juice. And like, you know, that's a really good blood flow, but I would use that more for Murph than I would for this run. But it was easy. I think I could probably do a 30-minute time trial test in about 5:10s, maybe 5:08s, which would be fast. That means like I'm a 32-minute 10K guy right now. I will say like my legs haven't had the impact in them in months, so you could feel it near the end where you're like, oh, that knee drive's not there, that snap that we were doing in our last intervals. Yeah. That's trained, it's not just, it doesn't stay there. You have to, especially as you get further in your career, really keep it in with strides and things like that, otherwise it fades quickly. Conditioning can be lost over weeks, but speed can be lost in days. You gotta always keep it tapped up. So recently I've been sitting with myself and kind of looking at some things that really have inspired me over the years. Record at the fastest marathon over 200 pounds, record for the fastest person to do an Ironman over 200 pounds, and then Murph. Now you guys remember a couple years ago, and if you don't, you haven't been paying attention. I set the world record for Murph during COVID, May 2020. World was stopped. The man had to rise to the occasion. I had to take it on. So I went all in this vest, with this attitude. I went hard and I got my goal accomplished. Raised a bunch of money for charity with RWB. It was great. And it's always been in my mind because I got very close to coming to that 30-minute record. And in training, I was really close to it. And then when I raced, I did a 34:13. It was the record, but it wasn't what I wanted. I had prepared wrong. I condensed all this work into about 8 weeks where it needed 6 months. So what do we have? We have 6 months. We're gonna give it 6 months of proper preparation while training, coexisting with my High Rocks racing schedule, traveling around the world, taking on big challenges, but still staying here at my dojo and holding myself accountable to this goal of 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, 1 mile run in a vest, unbroken. or basically unpartitioned. So why? I think because of all those other goals I said, like, you can run a really fast marathon in really fast shoes. Carbon plated shoes have changed the marathon in my mind. And you can run a really fast Ironman in the fancy bike and the fancy shoes and the fancy wetsuit. When it comes to Murph, there's no way to hide from the reps, and there's no shoes that are gonna save you. It's gritty, it's hard, it's 30 minutes, which I like. Insanity for 30 minutes. Every second counts. There's no hesitation, there's no chilling, there's no transitions, there's no breaks, there's no aid stations, there's no pacers. It's just grit. It's 600 repetitions and over 10,000 feet of travel, all while wearing a very hard, soul-crushing, rib-compressing vest that is just gonna steal your soul unless you overcome it. So, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna show up with wisdom, grace, and a lot more fitness. I'm definitely a lot fitter than I was when I did it last time. I'm a different athlete. I mean, I spent the last 5 years competing very heavily in high rocks, which is a very, very high intensity, high repetition event. So my body is ready for it. But also that wisdom that I was talking about is some of the things that I took into my original Murph prep was off. Knowing how to feel my body, knowing how to attack the workout, knowing how to bring all the pieces outside of training together so that it's more heightened, you know? And for me, like, I want to be a fire-breathing dragon, and this is a fire-breathing workout, you know? Everything from the first second that you touch that bar until the last squat is a fucking lactic acid battle. And then, you know, much like happened to me last year, I even stopped on the run. I had to walk last time I did it. So there's so many things I can see right now that I can just immediately snatch up and just destroy. And I don't want to just complete it. Like, you know, I think breaking 33 minutes, I'll break the record. That's easy. I want 30 minutes. Like, that's the 2-hour marathon of functional fitness. So one of my goals, break the record and allow it to heighten everything else that I'm doing. And also give you guys a really cool approach to understanding everything I've learned over the past 15 years of fitness and how it can enhance your training through the knowledge that I'm pulling out of myself and doing through this vlog. So what you guys can expect is every single week, we're gonna be training. Got about 6 months of watching this. Intermittently throughout that kind of stuff, you know me, I'm a busy and wild guy. I got the Crest Tooch, I got HyperCon games, I got High Rocks races, I got holidays, I got global travel. I'm gonna figure out how to put it all together. That's the Rubik's Cube of life. That is what I like. I like pressure, I like insanity, I like anxiety. I like it coming from all angles and creating enough pressure that I can make a diamond out of it. So I'm not gonna be easy on myself. I'm not gonna be easy on this record. And if you guys really want it, I'm already considering I'm gonna go head to head with one of the best athletes in the world in this event named Alec Blennis. So maybe there's other people that are gonna come out of the woodwork. We're definitely gonna align it with a charity. But first and foremost, I will tell you guys this. The most important aspect of this is the record itself. So if you guys are wondering, like, why don't you go hang out with this person, do it with them? In reality, if it does not support the record, I'm not doing it. Secondly, I will then bring in the media. And then thirdly, I will bring in other athletes. And fourth, I will support it all through a charity that can really give back to the community. And I definitely want to work with RWB again. So I'm gonna figure out how to put it all together. But first and foremost, guys, we gotta train, we gotta conquer. And I'm probably just gonna do it with old Bessie. I haven't decided yet. I've also got a little bit of some new hacks and plans with my supplements and my routine that's gonna probably really break through some of the struggles that I dealt with in my training last time. So there's gonna be a lot of science. We're gonna science the fuck out of this thing. And stay tuned, stay hard. See y'all soon. 45? bad, but it's not great.